Just a bit earlier, we showed you video from Tehran where, after the death of tens of thousands of protesters in just the past few months, there was joy at reports that the Ayatollah is now dead. And we are seeing much the same among Iranian Americans here at home. Let's check in with CBS correspondent Carter Evans in Los Angeles tonight.
Celebration in the streets of L.A. as word spread that Iran's supreme leader was killed in the attack. More than 200,000 Iranians live in California. Many fled the regime that ruled there for 47 years, and they welcome change.
United States and Israel, they are there to change the regime.
Events reached a tipping point after the Iranian crackdown on protesters last month that killed thousands. Iranians here demanded the U.S. government take military action.
Right, military action.
To President Trump. This is the only person to support us in the last 50 years. Every single people in Iran knew that the only way that this regime is going to go away is that to attack them.
For the first time in their lives, many here are expressing optimism for a new life in Iran. Now you're expecting regime change.
Yes.
And hopeful about it. You've got a smile on your face.
Yes, I do.
Even though your friends and family may be in danger.
Yes, you know, to have no choice.
Mohammed Ghaffarian left Iran more than 50 years ago, but for his loved ones still there, the violence and uncertainty is overwhelming.
Emotional poem with the tears.
Are they tears of joy?
Tears of joy and tears of sadness for the family.
Yeah, because you just don't know.
I do.
Well, communication with people inside Iran is still very difficult. In many cases, the government has blocked access to the internet.
Why would the government block access?
Have still not yet spoken with their families. But that doesn't seem to stop the celebration here tonight. Tony?
Carter Evans with the pictures.
That's right. They're celebrating all over the U.S. They're celebrating because the Ayatollah of rock and roll is no more. That's right, folks. He dead. He gone, along with 40 others. We're not celebrating anyone's death. Don't want to think that's the case here. We're just saying that the guy who kept saying death to America and he was going to destroy America, he's going to sink our ships, he's going to do all this, that, and the other, he got. Oh, well. And I just want to preface all this by saying that I am not in favor of any type of occupation of Iran. I don't want U.S. troops there rebuilding Iran or doing anything like that. Let the Iranian people do it. Let them take over the country. Let them be the ones to chart their future now that the yoke of the oppression has been lifted off their necks. Hi, everybody. My name's Jim, and I'm here to tell you some news. How you doing? Let's see who's here tonight. Let's see. We got delays, obvious, 11. Ugh. I was going to start at 10 tonight, but I went really late last night. I was on another stream of stuff, and I thought 11 was going to be good. I tried to reach out to Joe to see if he was going to stream. He didn't get back to me, so I scheduled it for 11, and then I just realized some people are telling me Joe's going to start at 11:30, so it's going to really screw up my stream, but whatever. It is what it is. Joe's his own person. He can do what he wants. He doesn't have to stream with me. I'm not going to cry over it. What am I going to do? Pat Hacker, what's up? How you doing, sweetheart? Late start tonight. Well, just what it is. Sunshine's here. Certainly is. Yes, it is. Great to see you. What the F? Great. Awesome. How you doing? Mr. Siki Sean, good to see you. Michelle, great to see you here again. Thaddeus said Jim should merge streams with Joe. I would, but Joe didn't ask me, and I would need Joe's, send me a link, and I have to do all this stuff. And you can't really merge streams. I don't think that works. I don't know how that would work. Is Joe streaming? I said streaming. What's it say? Streaming is against his religion on Saturdays. Yeah, I thought he had to wait till after midnight or something, but whatever. I don't know. My Jim Somniac powers are minimal tonight. Well, Steve, it's great to see you. Thank you for being here. Lady Bahama, hello. How you doing? Awesome to see you here. Dan, the other Gagax. Hi, Jim. How you doing? It says no religious holiday. Well, he's streaming. Evening, Tomb. What's up, man? How you doing? Great to see you. All right, yes. Jay Schwartz says Joe is scheduled to start streaming in about a half an hour. Joe on the 30-plus minutes. Okay, Lady Bama, no problem. What's up, Margie? Great to see you. Philip Coggins is here, not going on Joe's perm stream. I think that's not, I don't think, I'm a goy. I don't think that's allowed. I thought it was against his religion. After a certain amount of time, after like an hour after dusk or sunset or something, when the Shabbat is over. I'm trying to eat some chips and type. Awesome. Good to see you too. Yes, awesome. Sunshine. What's up? Ding dong. Q Ed Waz. What's up? Great to see you. Ding dong. The dick is dead. His son and daughter-in-law were victims. You're talking about what's his face? Koab Kamani, whatever his name is. Yes. What's up, fam? How you doing, Season Cat? Great to see you. None of your business. Sorry I'm late. Don't worry about it. You're good. Yes. Kevin. Hey, Jim. What's up, Kevin? Great to see you. Thanks for being here. Here you go, Jim. As promised, we spite Cynic. Thank you so much. That will go towards the goal and Bellavision, but let me get through this first. Q Edwas says, Ghostbusters taught us about crossing streams. After sunset, never cross the streams. Yes. So, yes, this $5 will go towards the goal tonight, which is for every $100 that comes in, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, Cash App, PayPal, which is pinned in the chat, along with coffee, and it's another donation service, and Super Tips, along with Locals coins, and Twitch and Kick also have some kind of system for gifting memberships or becoming members, and becoming a member or gifting members on YouTube or Rumble or anywhere else. I add it all up, and when we hit 100, we add an extra hour to the show. Last night, we actually ran for 4 extra hours, so it was a great show. And also, as an added bonus, though, and for everyone, we run for about 2 hours unless we hit the goal, and then we add an extra hour. And for every 100 that comes in, we add an additional extra hour, so the show could be as long as you guys want it to be. As an added bonus, always, what everyone knows is we have this other feature when we hit $50 that activates Bellavision, and there she is, as usual. I hope you guys will never figure out that she's a stuffed animal that I'm just pretending is a dog. And no, she's real. And so she will be activated when we hit 50, unless a very generous individual donation comes in of $25 or greater. Then we will immediately activate Bellavision. And, that could be $25 on Cash App or PayPal or a Super Chat or a Rumble Rant, or could be 5 gifted memberships on Rumble or YouTube or Twitch or Kick or wherever. And that will also, activate Bellavision for the evening. There she is. And now she's gone. I just hope the Iranians can find a sane leader. Personally, don't think it's the Shah's son. I don't think he's supposed to be the leader. From what I understand, he has a 6-month plan for elections and other things for them to take over. I don't think he wants to run the country. We don't belong there. No, we don't belong there. We don't belong there for we don't belong there. I'm telling you right here, right now, I'm saying, if there's any occupation of our troops in Iran, I am going to be against that 100%. I will say no. That is the opposite of what Trump promised when he ran on. Forever wars, occupations, blah, blah, blah. What we're doing now is trying to give those people, Trump said it himself, we're going to give them a chance to take control of their country and chart their own destination. Should we smuggle guns to the rifles? Smuggle them guns and rifles? Maybe. We cut a deal with the Iranians to do this for control of the oil. Did we, Adam? I don't know. Adam, great to see you. Dad, great to see you. We don't need Iranian oil. That's the bottom line. We don't need Iranian oil. This was more, okay. This was, in my opinion, this was about stopping Iran, just like we stopped Venezuela from funneling oil to China. This is about stopping Iran from funneling oil to China. We're putting China in a box to try to keep them from attacking Taiwan and causing all type of global turmoil and from trying to challenge us as the world's superpower and disrupt our hegemony. We will be there as tourists. Yes, I would love Iran. Oh, man, did you see some of the videos from Iran in the 70s, 60s, 70s before this happened? It was a beautiful place. Like, there was discos and stuff before there was discotheques in the U.S. I mean, it was great. It was great. Guess I posted my preemptive chat too soon and it timed out. What was it? Post it again. I did see a chat from you about something. The Shah's son is great Pavlaki. Yeah. I saw it and I don't remember what it was. Something about what was it? Hold on. It was something about preemptive strikes. The Iranians set up and targeted the leadership there. Okay, then that should be easy. This should be over quick if we have people on the inside, right? So I mean, this is what's going on. Like, I have a bunch of stuff planned for tonight, but I wanted to start off going through Twitter and showing some responses that people are having. It was a beautiful place with modern, fashionable ladies. It was. I'm gonna tell you. My grandfather and family were posted in Tehran back under the Shah. It was more Western. In 1970, Iran was more Western and more forward-looking. The way they treated women, and this is my opinion, so call me whatever, but I wasn't alive in 1970. But the stuff that I've seen and I've read tells me that Iran was more progressive, let's say, is the word, when it came to like women's rights and stuff like that, than even the U.S. was in 1970. Like, women working, doing all this stuff. I mean, it wasn't like, think about the whole burning the bra stuff that happened in the 70s in the U.S. Iran was already doing that. You know, already had women doctors. In 1970, like half of all Iranian graduate students were women. You know, doctors, nurses, all. I mean, it was everywhere. Ali Baba says, I was alive, and you are correct. You know what happened the last time we tried to cut off oil to an emerging power in 1941? Yes. We did put a complete oil embargo on Japan, which led to the bombing of Pearl Harbor. But I will say we are not going to put an embargo on Russia or China. What we're going to do is basically isolate them to where they have one place to get oil, and it's going to be Russia. Lebanon was modern too. Islam ruins everything it touches. Yeah. I will say too. Yes, we came to Iran, saw, and Khomeini died. Yeah. I will say that I don't want a forever wars. I don't want occupations. I don't like the fact that our troops are in Germany still. I don't like the facts that, I mean, I don't like that stuff. The reason we're still in South Korea is because of the threat of North Korea. The reason we're still around Japan and stuff like that is because of China and stuff like that. I understand this. We're around the places, but we need to worry about us here, this hemisphere. We've got a lot of problems. We've got a lot of things, and China is going to be a problem. So I think what they're trying to do is get this stuff out of the way. That way, if China does something, we can actually do something to stop them. Holy crap, I got a ton of people watching on X. I've never had so many people watching on X. This is weird. All right, so we're going to go through actually X and look at some stuff that's on there. And see. But first, we're going to start with this, because I saw this from Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. It says, overnight, on President Trump's orders, the Department of War commenced Operation Epic Fury, the most lethal, most complex, and most precision aerial operation in history. The Iranian regime had their chance, yet refused to make a deal. And now they are suffering the consequences. For almost 50 years, Iran has targeted and killed Americans, always seeking the world's most powerful weapons to further their radical cause. Last night, unlike any previous president, President Trump began dealing with this cancer. We will not tolerate powerful missiles targeting the American people. Those missiles will be destroyed, along with Iran's missile production. The Iranian Navy will be destroyed. And as President Trump has said his entire life, Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. The United States did not start this conflict, but we will finish it. If you kill or threaten Americans anywhere in the world, as Iran has, then we will hunt you down and we will kill you. Our warriors are the best in the world, and they are fully unleashed to achieve our objectives. May God's providence protect them in this vital mission. Hey, Renee, great to see you. Tell them to sub on YouTube. Yeah, if you're watching on X, come over to YouTube and sub. It's much better. Maybe. I don't know. I hate that we have troops in Africa with AFRICOM. I don't know. I mean, we don't have a lot. I don't think we have a lot of troops in Africa, not like we did previously. We do have troops. We have troops all over the place, and it's kind of a problem. So Trumpinator, great to see you. All righty. Let's see. There was some other stuff here. So that's a very good message from our Secretary of War. And then this is something that I wanted to bring up too, because this was a while ago. This was a moment that Marco Rubio was talking about some stuff, and I think it's very prescient to hear these words and realize what is happening. Right? This fire moment from the greatest Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, is resurfacing now that Ayatollah Khamenei is dead. The world is changing very fast, right in front of us. The old world is gone. Marco said just a few weeks ago. Maduro is gone. Now Khamenei. We live in a new era of geopolitics, and it's going to require all of us to sort of re-examine what that looks like and what our role is going to be. President Trump's dream team is seeing it all through. This is what we voted for. AFRICOM, I thought it was CENTCOM. But maybe, is there AFRICOM? I don't know. Let's see. Here's Marco Rubio. It's a short clip.
The world is changing very fast right in front of us. The old world is gone, frankly, the world I grew up in, and we live in a new era of geopolitics, and it's going to require all of us to sort of re-examine what that looks like and what our role is going to be. And we've had many of these conversations in private with many of our allies. We are our allies, and we need to continue to have those conversations. And I think Saturday, hopefully, and the meetings we'll have there when we'll see them. The world is changing very fast.
I know, Toom, there is an AFRICON. I mean, look at all the con men that come out of Africa. You got those Nigerian princes that are trying to steal money all the time. These Somalis robbing everything in Minnesota. I mean, Africa's loaded with cons. Lol. Any com, yeah. Yeah, 6,000 to 7,200 RPMs. I mean, troops in AFRICOM. Stress Marco is losing weight. I think he's in his prime fighting weight, Adam. He's doing good. So, yeah. I have a bunch of news stories to look at, but here's Marco Rubio finding out he's the new Iranian, new leader of Iran. These memes are hysterical. So there's that, and then this is great right here. So this is celebrations break out across the United States over strikes against the Islamic Republic. Control, yes, that's right. They're all for control. Look at them. Mm-hmm. You mean 8 princesses? Awesome. Oh, yeah. So let me find this. This was I forgot this one. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Yeah, Gundam 6 says, I said something like, due to continued JTY spreading of the news, I authorize a preemptive strike, something tarded like that. Yes. Mm-hmm. That wasn't tarded. It was great. Yes. Free con. No, thank you. So, I mean, this is what they're doing. And then there's this story. Yeah, well, I guess we could read the story, but first I want to go back to some other stuff that I saw. It says, Iranian Los Angeles residents on CNN says, when's the last time you saw people from Israel and Iran dancing on the streets with excitement? And when is the last time you ever heard of a country coming out and dancing because they're excited that a foreign power is attacking them? And that country is Iran, whose official government statement is death to Israel, death to America. The Iranian people have made it absolutely clear that they're ready for regime change. They want freedom in Iran, and they want the rest of the world not to abandon them because we're almost at the finish line. So let's see.
When is the last time you saw people in Israel and Iran dancing on the streets in excitement? And when is the last time you've ever heard of a country coming out and dancing because they're excited that foreign powers are attacking them? And that country is Iran, whose official government statement is death to Israel, death to America. But the Iranian people have made it absolutely clear that they're ready for regime change. They want freedom in Iran, and they want the rest of the world not to abandon them because we're almost at the finish line. When is the last?
That's awesome. That's awesome, right? Yeah, the mainstream media is covering all those protesting. The mainstream media is running out there peddling Iran's talking points, claiming that a school was shot by Israel or the U.S., when in fact the videos show that it was an Iranian missile that malfunctioned and crashed into the place. And was it a school because it was on a base? Who knows? Trumpinator says Iran lost one dictator. They will get a new one. I don't know about that. I'm hoping that we will see elections within 6 months. The Shah's son, the ex-Shah's son, Raza, whatever his name is, Pavladi. He claims he has a 6-month plan, that they've been working on it, and that in 6 months there'll be elections in Iran. It's possibly Trumpinator saying what Venezuela. It's possible, but it seems like the people in Venezuela don't want to end up in jail and don't want to end up dead. And it seems like the Karen says, we, the ultra-nuclear extreme MAGA people of planet E, are the best is yet to come. MAGA, make all great again. Yes. Yes, we'll see. We shall see. Yes, rocked the Casbah, rock the Casbah. Sharif, he don't like it. Rock the Casbah. Yes. Incredible images coming out of Los Angeles. Carter speaking to some people in tears, speaking about what it means for U.S. and Israel to have decapitated the Ayatollah. This is what we watched at the beginning. I hope we don't get struck for it. I'm surprised U.S. News is reporting this, considering their hatred for America. And this is Robert, retired U.S. Navy Vice Admiral Robert Harward on Operation Epic Fury. I think all of us Americans who lived in Iran, Americans who have been up close and personal, watching the journey over 47 years, are applauding this action today. All we have to avoid now is a power vacuum. There won't, I don't know. Well, I mean, I hope they thought this through. That's all I'll say. Rubio said something early yesterday before the attack. I can't remember exactly what it was. I know it was a positive message. I should have brought it to your attention yesterday. Well, Steve, I don't hold it against you. I saw a lot of stuff too that I should have pulled, and I was just looking at stuff so much. But it happens. It does. It happens. Oh, I can't believe there's 94 people on YouTube and 84 people on X watching. That's a lot of peoples. So here we'll see what he has to say. This is a retired Vice Admiral, and this is actually on MS Now.
Well, I think it's more than just Iranians. I think all of us, Americans who lived in Iran, Americans who have been up close and personal watching this journey of over 47 years when the regime came to power in 1979, are applauding the actions today. I'm just amazed when I hear congressmen like Congressman Moulton talk about the risk to our military personnel. What about the hundreds we've lost? We lost them in Saudi. We lost them in Yemen. We lost them in Syria. We lost them in Iraq through Iranian surrogates over the last 47 years. What about them? This is a tribute to them that we're going to hold this regime accountable and ensure that behavior stops and that will not be tolerated going forward. So that's first and foremost. Well, I think it's more than...
So it's interesting. Yes, it was very shocking. I mean, a good show last night. It wasn't leaked for once for sure. Something was leaked. All right, we're going to get into that a little bit because the people were protesting. They were already setting up the protests they were already setting up the protests like before the announcement went out that it was on. You know what I'm saying? Before the announcements went that the attacks were on, it's like 10 minutes. They have the timing down to where these, Code Pink, Neville Singman, this Democratic Socialists of America, and all these communists, basically funded through China, they were setting up protests for yesterday night, before we even knew that it was on. The hands off Iran shit. So they knew. And the only people that knew was the Gang of Eight. All right. So that's Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, I forget what else it is. It's like another two Democrat senators, 2 Republican senators, and 4 House members, the Speaker of the House, the whip, and then the minority leader and someone else, their whatever whip or whatever. That's the only people that knew what was going on. So somebody talked to somebody, because they were putting out calls to protest before anyone knew the attack happened. Some of the base attacks look sus. A drone dropped on a base slower than a duck. Old person who remembers. Well, thank you, CZ Cat. Yeah. So what has the CIE military industrial complex gotten us into now? I'm hoping just good things. All right, let's think positive thoughts. And the embassy talked about bugging out. You're probably correct. Yeah, like they didn't tell like Talib or I mean, I hope not, or like Omar or Jay Appel or AOC, hopefully, because they would have been out talking about it. But it's very shocking to see some of these comments from people. Hey, Joe's here. Great to see you, Joe. Thanks for being here. Snarf, great to see you. I didn't get anything saying you were on. Now I'm late, but not gay. That's messed up, Joe. Is it because I don't know? I did release a bunch of shorts earlier today, so that might have screwed up notifications. YouTube is really weird about how they do notifications. They only send out so many a day. So because I put out the shorts, maybe it screwed up. So I apologize if it did. What about Americans in their 20s, 30s, and 40s who can no longer have the American dream within their grasp in our country while our defense budget skyrockets? Do you think they worry about Iran before they worry about how they're going to pay rent, buy groceries? The Epstein class. Well, these people, this is not anything like that, So I think, here's Senator, this is the one Democrat who seems like, I don't know what happened with his stroke, but holy shit, can we just get some more strokes in the Democrat Party? Because John Fetterman just confirmed the Gang of Eight was properly notified before the strikes on Iran. Proper channels followed. No excuses for the outrage crowd. America standing strong with real leadership.
Yeah, since 1979.
So, Senator, we're getting notice from reports that Marco Rubio did call the Gang of Eight to give them a heads up that this operation was happening. From a congressional standpoint, what do you want to hear from the administration about, since this has the potential of lasting weeks, what do you want to hear from them?
Well, I mean, if we don't know how long it would last, but I would look back what happened in June when Israel had the war against Iran, and it took just a couple days for Iran to beg for a ceasefire. Israel was able to achieve air supremacy after like 2 to 3 days. So, what we see how long will last. But now America here right now is in the part of that. And Iran targets were being effectively picked off. And now I think I even saw a report where Iranian people were laughing when they saw a report that the leader's compound was just obliterated to part of it.
I'm seeing that too on social media.
The supreme leader.
Yeah. So we were told that we were going in to strike the ballistic missile sites to make sure they don't have these ballistic missiles, that they're not working on an intercontinental missile that could target us, and that Israel was going in to attack the commanders, the Ayatollah, the president, and some of their people, some of the leaders. What is your knowing? And we heard General Jack Keane say the intel on these individuals is so, quote, exquisite, he said. He said he didn't want to go into it, but we know where these individuals are. Did they have time? Do you think we got them? And if we did, when would we hear that? And it wasn't really a secret that this was going to happen. There were rumblings all over the news. We all knew that this could happen after the State of the Union address. But when will we find out if they were killed? And how much do you think they stayed in their homes and wherever, or did they go to hiding?
What I do know, what's the fact that the Israeli intelligence is outstanding always. Look exactly what they did last year. They didn't have to take out the entire building. They actually took out the guy's bedrooms, and they just eliminated all the nuclear scientists and the leadership throughout all that. That's a demonstration of Israel's capabilities. And now we have here America standing there where a lot of the kinetic kinds of brute force in that region as well now too. I think that partnership, whether the Israeli intelligence and that kind of very specific kinds of things, and the American firepower there, that's what seems to be pretty effective right now thus far here.
Senator, thanks for putting the country over party. Senator. Always great to have you on. And I look forward to talking to you along the way, because this will be a sustained campaign. It's not going to be days. It's going to be weeks. Senator John Fetterman from Pennsylvania. Thank you.
Senator.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Let's bring in
All right. Joe, I did not see the email that you say you sent. Are you sure you sent it to the right address? It's jimtellsyou at duck.com. Jimtellsyou at duck.com. What's this say? The flag has a lion in the center with a sun. Yeah. The Supreme Leader versus fact. We have public servants. Yes. There's a bunch of stuff from the 70s that existed in Iran, Led Zeppelin albums, etc. Yeah. What's up, Spuzz? Great to see you. Fetterman is true to himself. Yes, he is. Can you attack a country knowing that they actually could nuke the White House? That is some balls. He's possibly the only Dem that isn't a commie bot. Really? Iran? Why I see fork? I need to check again. Thanks. Yes. All right. I'm going to have to look. I don't know if it went into spam or something. I don't want to look right now. If it was important, tell me and I'll look right now, but I'll have to look after the show. Sorry. I did not see it. But yeah, so this is some of the reactions that are coming in, and so, yeah, here it is. So, and which of these gang of 8 traitors tipped off Singham? Yes. So here, check it out. At 2:34 a.m., 10 minutes before Trump even revealed strikes against Iran, a U.S. nonprofit, all right, network funded by China-based tycoon Neville Roy Singham activated foot soldiers to hit the streets for a pro-regime, anti-U.S. protest. Read my latest at Fox News Digital. Right here, see? So. Anti-U.S. protests funded by pro-China tycoon mobilize as first bombs fall on Iran. It's a setup. Sorry, Pat. Iraq was a failure. Even to understand as a private citizen was against the invasion. He should heed his past thoughts. We're not, Spuds. We're not going to invade. We're not going to invade Iran. That's the difference. We're doing what we can to help the people take their government back. Right? I don't see that as I don't see that as I don't see that as the same thing. So explosions heard across Iran. Well, let's see.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
This is a Fox News alert. We're following breaking news in the Middle East. The U.S. and Israel have launched a joint surprise attack on Iran within the last few hours. The daring daytime strikes, part of what's being called Operation Epic Fury in the U.S., Roaring Lion in Israel. It's a widespread response to Iran's refusal to end its nuclear program. And unlike the last time in June, when the U.S. and Israel struck Iran, the assault might not be one and done. Officials warning everyone.
Well, okay, Spuds, I'm going to tell you, because Trump, in my opinion, made a mistake referring to it as a war in his address last night. He called it war last night, which it was, I don't know if it's just in the common parlance when you're speaking as opposed to the actual official war. But technically, I want to point out that we have been at war with Iran since the revolution, since 79, when they declared war on us. They've been telling us they're at war with us since 79, that they're going to destroy us. Death to America, death to Israel. They've been doing it since 79. So, I mean, remember when after Pearl Harbor, we declared war on the Japanese, and then Hitler declared war on us, the Germans, and then we were okay. We're at war with Hitler too. I mean, they declared war on us a long time ago. Like in my opinion, China's declared war on us 20 years ago, and they've been doing stuff to take us down since then. We need to pay attention. When they tell us what they want to do to us, we need to act accordingly. Okay, well, you're staying. Your biopsy's bad, surgery to follow, life sucks, then you die. All right, well, cesium cap, you will stay in my prayers. So yeah, I don't want to get in the dark of night. 10 minutes before President Trump even announced that the U.S. and Israel had attacked Iran, a network of U.S. nonprofits aligned with China, Russia, and Tehran activated foot soldiers to hit American streets. Yes, not a new war, 47 years in the making. Yes, this should have happened when they took all our people hostages, and when they took the station chief. Like, you guys don't. They took the station chief of Tehran. They tortured him. They peeled his skin off, and they sent the video of it to Reagan. So groups funded by Neville Roy Singham, a Shanghai-based American-born tech tycoon who probably is another one of those anchor baby, like that, what do you call birth tourism people or something? Yes, Terry Anderson. Yes. Actually, no, there was a guy, Bill something, I think. What was his name? Bill Buckley? No, Bill. But anyway, I don't know. My mind is going 1,000 miles an hour right now. I apologize. I'm too mean to die. The good die young. No problem, Cesium Cat. You're a great person to have here in the chat. I want you to stay. They say about a third of the country is Christian. The Iran's population, they are not, from everything I've read and saw, they are not a majority Muslim country. They're called Zoroastrianists or something like that. That's the original religion, and they're still there, and there's still a lot of them. It's just they got overran by these wackadoos. And there was a bunch of people that were leftists, a lot of them women, who cheered for this Iranian regime to come into power, and then they slaughtered them all anyway. So, Zoroastrians, yeah. So this guy, so he's an American-based tech tycoon, American-born tech tycoon who regularly parrots messaging from America's adversaries, swung into action even as the initial bombs were dropping. The nearly instantaneous response was the latest salvo in an information war on the U.S., with foot soldiers called upon to converge and protest and echo anti-U.S. talking points. Flag or not, with forkish looks wicked. I think it's a trident, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that, a scepter, trident, or something like that, if I'm thinking correct. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. The Answer Coalition, a nonprofit project whose leaders describe themselves as Marxists and communists, announced emergency nationwide day of action, stop the war with Iran. Yes, the actual, the message coming from the Democratic Socialist Americas is anytime there's a war in the U.S., we have to fight to make sure America loses. Like, these are not Americans. These people are traitors. They're all traitor scum who should be rounded up. Yeah. You get it. I was called away my phone, but I'll keep you in my prayers. Yes. A private little war. It was a poor choice of words that the DNC will definitely capitalize. There I get the people of Iran need help, but I don't think this was the best way to do it. I don't know how else you would do it. They were killing them like crazy. They were slaughtering them. It announced in its network of groups that they have long supported the regime in Iran, including the National Iranian American Council, American Muslims for Palestine, the People's Forum, the Palestinian Youth Movement, and Code Pink. Code Pink, who Marjorie Traitor Green is palling around with. Code Pink. Her new friends, or were they always her friends? The organization haven't responded for requests for comment. Singham did not respond to requests for comment. The network set up the language for its anti-U.S. messaging, calling the war an unprovoked illegal bombing of Iran. It even set up a website domain for the coordinated actions. 10 minutes later, Trump posted a video confirming the attack on Iran, telling the world a short time ago the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. 8 minutes later, the People's Forum, a New York-based activist hub funded by Singham as an incubator for socialist groups, issued an emergency call to action to protest in Times Square. The Answer Coalition runs operations out of the People's Forum headquarters in downtown Manhattan. They're all communists. They got to go. The People's Forum said this war serves no one but the tiny elite and oil executives and is a continuation of more than 2 years of genocide in Palestine and U.S.-Israeli aggression throughout the region. Like, this is just nuts. A student leader that stormed the embassy during Carter's administration was president after the original Khomeini, Ahmadinejad. Looked that one up. Yeah, I believe they bombed his house. You're disgusted with MTG? Yeah, me too. The same network mobilized rapidly in the past in high-profile national security incidences. It previously rallied in support of Nicolas Maduro after U.S. authorities arrested him and his wife for alleged involvement in narco-terrorism. Earlier this month, when the State Department sent a report to Congress raising concerns about this network, it stated organizations like Code Pink and the People's Forum denigrate the United States, whitewash the violence of Marxist regimes, and run cover for narco-terrorists like Maduro while enjoying an influx of cash from a donor network with connections to the Chinese Communist Party. Last summer, the same coalition, including the People's Forum and the Party for Socialism and Liberation, Mandami, the Commie Mandami, the Answer Coalition, Code Pink, rallied outside the White House under a banner, Hands Off Iran. That protest was coordinated alongside the National Iranian American Council and amplified by Breakthrough News, which broadcast images of children holding anti-war signs at the White House fence. How long till a district court judge rules Trump has to end the attacks? They could try. Throughout the night, the joint U.S.-Israeli attack on Iran, field marshals immediately readied printed signage, standardized messaging, and coordinated media amplification. According to people familiar with the organizations, they linked anti-Israeli activism, anti-ICE protests, and anti-Trump messaging into a single narrative framework, opposing what organizers call the U.S. empire. So these are anti-American people. Like, what's going on? Like, these are not people that are like, oh, I disagree with you politically, and I don't like what you're doing. These are people who hate America. These are anti-American people. Like, these are enemies of the state. They are enemies of all red-blooded Americans. Their messaging aligned with the message of the pro-regime protests in Iran. By 4:31 a.m., Breakthrough News, a project of Breakthrough BT Media, is a nonprofit funded by Singham, promoted the day of emergency protests breaking news. It shares the same address as the People's Forum, and its editor-in-chief, Ben Becker, is the son of Brian Becker, co-founder of the Answer Coalition. Look at there. Here they are coming in with the signs to give to people, all pre-printed. Breakthrough News circulated a video of an alleged U.S. strike on a school, with the network organization repeated and amplified to portray the U.S. as an unbridled aggressor. The U.S. hasn't commented yet on the alleged strike. I will tell you right now, it was an Iranian missile that malfunctioned and crashed into school. But all the same, the same people who claim they're not anti-Semitic, that they don't just hate Jews, they just don't like Israel, immediately blamed Israel and America. It's all these same people, you know. These same people are posting photos of like Los Angeles. Look at what's going on in Los Angeles now with these, homeless people, and yet we got money for this war. It's like, wait, so you want Trump to send troops to Los Angeles? Make up your mind. They hate themselves and their ancestors. It's by design, unfortunately. China's foreign ministry called for an end to the strikes in language aligning with the rhetoric of the U.S. protest infrastructure, calling for the defense of Iran's sovereignty and territorial integrity. By then, as many Americans were just awakening to the news, the protest infrastructure was fully engaged with social media graphics circulating, local chapters alerts, and Times Square positioning once again as a stage for the rapid mobilization of foot soldiers. They'd have their images broadcast around the world with the predictable language of Americans mobilizing a grassroots campaign against the U.S. war on Iran. But it's not really grassroots, is it, if it's all organized by the CCP? I guess that Iran was bored of peace, yes. At 11 a.m., the protest has spread to 16 hubs for the Answer Coalition and the Party for Socialism and Liberation. Chicago, Washington, D.C., Akron, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Ohio, Asheville, and Charlotte, North Carolina, Boston, Burlington, Vermont, San Diego, San Francisco, Sacramento, Davis, and Los Angeles in California, Providence, Rhode Island, Tucson, Arizona, and Eugene, Oregon. Yeah. Mama Pillow, protesters tear down the Islamic Republic flag at the embassy in London and holds up the Lion and Sun, 10th of January, 2026. Wiki needs an update. Yeah. I have some videos of some people tearing down statues of the dictator, just like they did when Saddam went down. Hopefully this person. A network of pro-regime organizations in Chicago issued its own press release parroting the messaging against the U.S. empire. So, I mean, that's what we're up against. This is a massive operation funded by the CCP and other billionaires and scumbags and the Marxists and the fucking Communist Party trying to overthrow the United States any way possible. They want to see us fall. They want the end to America. I mean, because here, look at this is what the propagandas at the mainstream media are doing. This is the fucking New York Times headline. It's a real headline from New York Times. Look at this. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, hardline cleric who made Iran a regional power, dies at 86. Really? Is that what he did? Is that what he did? He's another austere scholar? Is that what he is? Really? Is that what he is? Is that what he is? And then like Good Logic says here, people who are clueless about living under tyranny have a much easier time mourning the death of a tyrant. A based man in New York just confronted anti-Iran strikes protesters, shouting right in their faces, "You are all fucking morons. You have no idea what you're talking about. You are brain dead."
You dumbass piece of shit! You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about! Yes! Right.
Look at all those signs they got to pass out.
All you retarded idiots here are fucking brain dead! Do not feed the troll! Do not feed the troll!
Wow, look at that. Look at that. It's like they're like fucking zombies. They're drones. They just repeat what the guy tells them. This guy tells them, "Do not feed the troll. Do not feed the troll. Do not feed the troll." This is insane. These people, look at all signs. It's grassroots. That's why they had to get all these signs to pass out to the people that were probably paid to show up. The plan for the downfall of America started long ago, and it's been enacted in stages. Trump didn't mark the start of it.
Occupation! With liberation! You gotta get laid! You are all morons! You are all dumbasses! But other than that, you're okay. You're just so fucking stupid! No, you're just dumb. I'm amazed how dumb you are. Bro, you love fucking wars, huh? You love wars. You love wars, bro. Fucking dumbass. You're all dumbasses. Oh my God. We are done with the situation. And this city's protecting you. And falling apart. And you can die. You're too dumb. I like it when you hold it. Yeah, you're all dumbasses. Nice must go. You gotta make it nice instead of nice.
It's just crazy, ain't it? They may be stupid, but there's a lot of them than him. Yeah. Must pay good if they travel between states. Yeah. It says, lib friends tell me that Iranian replacements will just be worse. Worse than that? I mean, really? I don't know. I mean, if the people get to vote and they actually have elections and it actually goes back to the way it was before 79 for the people living there, it's like that. I don't see how it could be bad. I don't know. I mean, that's what, that's honestly, that's the things that people said about the American Revolution. Remember the speech in The Patriot, Mel Gibson saying how, I don't want to trade 300 tyrants or whatever it is, 50 miles away for, one tyrant 5,000 miles away for, or whatever, 2,000 miles away for a tyrant, 50 miles away, 300 tyrants, whatever it was that's saying. But I mean, it's the truth, That's a lot of ifs. It is. It's a lot of ifs. That's life. Nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. Okay, hold on. Fetterman, we did that. Well, here's Scott Jennings talking about Massey and MTG, because of course Massey and MTG are out here because I think they're getting money from this Neville Singman. I think these two are one tyrant 3,000 a May for 3,000 tyrants a mile away. Yeah, that was the saying. Hey, Jonathan, what's up? Great to see you, Marcos. Good evening, Chen Jim. The Iran crap started when I was a junior high school, almost 65 years old. Finally, Trump has balls. Yeah. But the Iranian Guard, secret police are still in place. They've been warned. They've been warned. If they don't lay down their weapons and allow the people to have their liberty, then they're going to face certain death. Those were Trump's words. No war when we are winning. Yeah. That's what it is. So he says about MTG and Massey, that I don't consider them to be Republicans, and I don't consider them to be part of the America First or MAGA movement. She quit, and he's about to lose a primary in Kentucky. So that'll be the end of that. To be fair, not a single regime change conflict has worked since World War II. Did regime change work in World War II? I mean, I guess. I don't know. I mean, did it? Did it really? I don't know. I mean, the thing is to let the people decide how they want to live, how they want to be governed, give them a voice. And I know the people are retarded, but
this is not what we thought MAGA was supposed to be. Congressman Thomas Massey also writing, this is not America First. Do they have a point?
No, they don't have a point, and I don't consider them to be actual Republicans, and I don't consider them to be part of the America First or MAGA movement, to be honest with you. They are basically allied against Donald Trump on everything, whether it's foreign affairs or domestic policy. They've just become political enemies of the President of the United States, no matter what he does. And that's unfortunate, but she quit, and he's about to lose in a primary in Kentucky. So that'll be the end of that.
This is not what...
Who are they going to primary Massey, another rhino? Supposedly it's a Navy SEAL or something, or Green Beret guy. He supposedly don't read my chats. Okay, why don't I don't know. What do you mean? Don't read your chats? All right. Why? So supposedly the guy's supposed to be pretty good. I don't know. I don't know enough about him. I don't live in Kentucky. They're not Republicans. They are only yeah, sure they are. Whatever. And then Scott Jennings nailed it. I don't see President Trump as starting a war. So here, let's see Scott Jennings talking a little more about this.
How do you square the no war promise with the potential of a protracted war?
Well, first of all, the president has consistently, over the course of his entire public life, said he will never permit the Iranian regime to have a nuclear weapon. That's why he took action last summer, and that's part of the reason he took action today. So I don't see this as him starting a war. I see this as a preventative measure to prevent a war against the largest state sponsor of terror in the world. My view is this is a new day for the people of Iran. It's a new day for the Middle East, and it's a new day for the world because the most courageous commander-in-chief of my lifetime said, I'm not putting up with this. We've been banging our head against a wall for 47 years while these guys terrorize the world, and I'm not going to permit it any longer. So when I see these Iranian people in L.A. and other places celebrating, I can only imagine their emotions and the emotions of the people in Iran who now have a chance to take back their country and restore what was once a great pro-Western country. That's the end goal here. No more war, but peace and a government and a culture in Iran that can actually participate with the rest of the world instead of terrorize it. That's what the president did. He ought to be commended for it.
Oh, definitely. I agree. After a near brawl, one person detained, ambulance call for another, and numerous scuffles. Roughly 75 June, one was hopped on a metro. Oh, yeah, transit police tell me, this was a National Guard stuff that happened. Large number of National Guard now patrolling the Navy Yard in Washington, D.C. Dozens of people in, usual suspects in masks and stuff started trouble. So here it is. Here's another one. Make sure everyone sees this. NGO organizers caught on camera bringing in the protest signs for the Hands Off Iran protest in New York City. The protest is again paid and organized. These protests will ever stop until we lock up their funders. Won't ever stop. Look at them. See? Oh, look at it's grassroots. Grassroots. Total grassroots. That's why they're bringing all the signs in. People didn't make the signs. Grassroots is when people make the signs themselves, and they're there with signs they made. Wow. Jonathan says, Massey is walking his own path. Can't figure that guy out. He's going to be walking to the unemployment line, hopefully. But I wouldn't be surprised, in all honesty, if after he loses the primary, he does something like sides with the Democrats. Just goes, if he does something like that, that'll prove who he is. Just watched a podcast from across the pond, pronounced Havana Anawilamet, damn it, Oregon. Britt got it right. Okay. I don't know why people are shocked. He started with Soleimani during the first term, built up the military, and was almost killed by that regime. Yeah, squeaky wheels get the grease. Yeah. Justin, he fires back at Massey after he attacked him. She quit. He's about to lose the primary. We saw that one already. There is no solution to illegal immigration. Trump's shut down the southern border. There's no solution to Venezuela. Trump black bags Maduro. There's no solution to Iran. Trump blows up the Ayatollah. That's right. The Ayatollah is dead. How many of our problems are just a lack of political willpower? Oh, they smoked some grass beforehand and watched Roots the night before. Okay, here it is. So here's that thing. It says the toll from the strike on a girls' elementary school in Minhab, Iran, has risen to 57 students dead and 60 others injured, according to Iran's semi-official Tasm news agency. So the they're taking Iran's word for it. This is a recycled archive material from Taliban massacre at Army public schools. On December 64, Taliban attacked a school and shooting rampage. Footage from that day and immediately after showed damaged buildings, smoke, debris, crowded students. So they're recycling the old stuff, claiming it was you mean the Iranian misfired missile that murders 57 students? Tell the truth. Breaking, Iranian state media is now reporting that the supreme leader is dead. This is the first Iranian acknowledgement that he was killed today. And then Britt Hume on the reaction says the public reaction is likely to be favorable. And I think these demon rats are kind of trapped. Maybe he'll get on The View. Maybe. Yeah. If you use the blank or X, Jim won't read the post out loud. I mean, you guys, I try to read the post because I thought that's what everyone liked about the channel that I engage with the chat. But if you put I will tell you right now, if you put the circle with the line through it when you start your post, I won't read the post. Okay, we'll make that rule now. If you put the circle line like the Ghostbusters sign or whatever, or X, the red X at the start of the post, I won't read your post. All right. I mean, I'll read it, but I won't read it aloud. How's that? Twitter is an awesome place. It is entertaining as heck. The public, these demon rats, with rare exception, feel their job in life is to resist and oppose Donald Trump in every way, almost no matter what he does. Over time, those who are critical may feel vindicated if things start to go badly. But if they don't, they're going to be stuck with this. If the Iranian regime goes down and things turn out well in Iran, that will be the burden around their necks.
The public reaction is likely to be favorable. And I think these Democrats are kind of trapped because they exist in a party whose membership overwhelmingly despises Donald Trump. It's been called Trump derangement syndrome, and there's something to that. And the result is that these Democrats, with rare exceptions, John Fetterman today, of course, was the one we just heard from, are opposed to this because they feel they must be. That they feel their job in life is to resist and oppose Donald Trump in every way, almost no matter what he does. So I think that accounts for the political reaction on the Democratic side here. Now, over time, those who are critical may feel vindicated if things start to go badly, but if they don't, they're going to be stuck with this. They're going to be the people that it will be argued didn't want to take this evil Iranian regime down. If the Iranian machine goes down and things turn out well in Iran, that will be a burden around their necks.
That's interesting. Let's see here. Joe says, sorry, been in and out. Have you covered MTG yet? I sort of talked about MTG, but I haven't really. I just said her and Massey, of course, are siding with Code Pink. Like I said, there's those pictures of MTG with Code Pink people doing all this stuff. Code Pink is funding all these protests. I don't know what's going on with MTG, besides the fact that she was clearly always a traitor. So here's Senator Mark Wayne Mullen says President Trump can't brief Congress as a whole on issues like strikes against Iran because people like Tlaib and Omar simply can't be trusted. Mullen, who sits on the Senate Armed Service Committee, says some in Congress knew about the gravity of this operation in Iran ahead of time.
You feel as though your men and women have been briefed on the Senate side and knew about the gravity of this operation?
Well, I know Congress has been briefed as a whole. I mean, the president had to hold this very tight. And so there was a circle of individuals that need to know, that are in had the ability to make decisions. But you have people like, honestly, Tlaib and Omar, that you can't brief Congress as a whole, because those individuals like that you just simply can't trust. And however, I do believe as we move forward with the operations, now that the operations are moving forward, I believe that the secretary will come to either be Rubio or Secretary Hegseth, or maybe both, will be coming to Congress and doing a classified briefing as a whole for everybody.
You feel as though your men and women have been briefed on the Senate side and knew.
So yeah, so there's that. Skip that for right now. Outrage in New York. Oh no, skip that for right now. There's John Fetterman says, committed Democrat here. I'm a hard no. My vote on Operation is Operation Epic Fury, because Democrats demand vote on war powers after U.S. strikes Iran. So of course, this was the thing I read from Pete Hegseth at the beginning. And this guy says, if you're not Iranian, maybe take a breath before you lecture us. Iranians are celebrating in the streets. All right. Not because Netanyahu told them to, because they buried brothers, sisters, fathers. They remember the massacres. They remember the prisons. They remember the funerals. And now they look at the dam that is broken, thanks to the bravery of Trump and Netanyahu. You don't have to like it, but don't discredit the voices celebrating in Iran. This guy says, my sister in Iran is crying out in pure happiness. She said, I wouldn't even care if I died accidentally, as long as my country is finally free from this terrorist regime. Yeah, I'm not going to read that right now. Their ability to respond is ridiculous. They have the ability to respond with protests faster than the local emergency services center. In the military, we call this flash to bang time. It is the difference in time it takes from seeing a bomb hit until the sound wave hits you. Their flash to bang time is Fortune 500 level stuff. They responded faster than Trump could announce it. Organic my ass. Yeah. 10 minutes before Trump even revealed strikes against Iran, the U.S. nonprofit funded by China-based Neville Singham activated his foot soldiers. We saw this. We read that story. Yeah, organic my ass. Understand it as always. Yeah, no war with Iran. Trump must go. Activists mobilized against 10 minutes beforehand. People coming out of the streets in deep blue Washington, D.C. in droves screaming, thank you, President Trump, after he killed the Ayatollah Khomeini. The Democrats are going to have an awful few days.
President Trump, thank you. Honorable Levy, thank you. Trump, thank you. Trump, thank you. Trump, thank you. President Trump, thank you. Honorable Levy.
Yeah, it's just what she said. I didn't campaign for this. I didn't donate money for this. I didn't vote for this in election or Congress. It's heartbreaking and tragic. How more innocents will die? What about our own military? This is not what we thought MAGA was supposed to be. Shame. Yeah, that's what MTG posted. She's crazy. I have it. I just didn't get to it yet. I'm going down the list in reverse order because U.S. forces strike Iran. Democrats hardest hit. Yeah, that's what it is. We're going to read this in a few minutes. I'm going to put it off to the side. Fox just posted my column, The Authority of President Trump to Launch This Attack. There is ample 60-day period for the initial prosecution of Operation Epic Fury under existing laws. Congress will then have to decide whether to limit or authorize it. So this is from the Israeli ambassador to the people of Iran, Danny Danon.
Now let me address the brave people of Iran. You are not our enemies. This operation is not directed at you. It is directed at a regime that has silenced you, imprisoned you, and invested in missiles and uranium while your economy suffers. You deserve better. Now let me address the brave people of Iran.
So that's the Israeli ambassador telling me, Another NGO caught funding the hands-off Iran protests in Times Square. Code Pink, Women for Peace is the NGO. It's funded by George Soros and China-connected Neville Singham. Code Pink. Wow, what was Code Pink? Remember? Oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene with Code Pink, the picture taken with Code Pink. The next day, Trump goes to a restaurant that Marjorie Taylor Greene recommended to him and kept calling to ask if he was going there, and Code Pink showed up there to harass Trump. This is Code Pink. Look at them. Oh, look at those signs. Those are the signs those people were all carrying. Money for people's needs, not war with Iran. Wow, look at that. Huh. Hands off the Middle East, from the belly to beast. Hands off the Middle East, up at liver, down with... Look at these. Trump must go. These are the same. RefuseFascism.org. Wow, these are the same signs that they had 8 years ago. Thousands in Iran are taking to the streets. The regime is losing control. M Street in Washington, Georgetown, taken over by a large crowd celebrating Iranians, chanting USA. Not what I was expecting during my run today. Oh, what was he expecting? He was expecting people to be upset, like the Code Pink people didn't get there yet. Yeah, all the signs are pre-printed. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Gary, Joe was not saying that. He was typing what MTG said. That's not Joe's opinion. That's Joe's was just saying what MTG said. That's all. Joe's not. No, you got it completely wrong. He was just telling people what MTG said. That's not Joe's words. Liberal tears cure boredom and taste delicioso. Well, it's wild. You got all these Iranian, people of Iranian descent out there chanting USA, USA, and then you got all these leftist, commie, Marxist motherfuckers out there chanting death to America. Like, yes, I have it somewhere. We'll see it in a little bit, maybe when I find it. That the Democratic Socialists of America and the People's Forum put out a death to America tweet in Farsi. Crazy, huh? Bill Ackman says these students should be expelled from Columbia, and if they're here on, I'm sorry, it wasn't the DSA, it was it's the same group, the divest. Here it is, it's right here. They are on visas in the world. They should be permitted to attend taxpayer-funded university. Here it is, Columbia University anti-Israel student group, CUAD. This is the group that fuckhead what's his name? Mahmoud. What's his name? Mohammed. The guy they're trying to kick out. I can't think of his name now. All of a sudden. The guy that they, what's his name? The one guy, the Columbia stuff. So Amar Gabar America. So that's a death to America. Yeah. This is that group. Well, I'm trying to think of his name. The fucking guy. What his name is? Not Kilmar Abreu. Khalil Muhammad. That's his name. Khalil Muhammad. That fucking clown. Wait, what happened? Oh, yeah, so here we go. All right. And Democratic Socialists and its politicians, Rashida Tlaib, AOC, Ilhan Omar, and Zoran, the Kami Mandami, now parrot the talking points of the pro-China, anti-U.S. nonprofit network funded by Neville Singham. See the receipts in our Fox News digital article. We're going to read this article. Yeah, see, here's the DSA. No war with Iran, not to imperialist war. Yes to sovereignty of the Iranian people. What the fuck are they talking about? And then here's some other stuff. Patriot defense systems are absolutely demolishing incoming Iranian missiles over Al Udeid, air based in Qatar, a major hub for U.S. Air Force. So freaking proud of my country right now. Prayers for our troops working. Let's see. Here's a video.
Fuck yeah. What the fuck?
says, Dave Rubin says, watching progressives meltdown as women are liberated is a sight to behold. Iranian women are dancing in the streets without hair coverings after hearing that Israel killed the tyrant Khomeini. So many Western leaders should feel ashamed at their cowardly response this morning. We will all remember. Yeah, never forget that Demon Rat supported Iran. Hillary Clinton supplied Iran with uranium and enriched their nuclear program. Barack Obama gave Iran $1.7 billion that they used to fund their nuclear program. Joe Biden unfroze $16 billion of funds for Iran. Never forget. Never forget. Yes, here's the Columbia University Anti-Israel Student Group, which organized the camps, which tweeted death to America in Persian. Yeah, that's Khalil Muhammad. Here it is. An Iranian protester shreds the Hollywood frauds for crying over page ICE agitator who deliberately plowed into an ICE agent. You have no idea how Iranians have been living under the current terrorist regime. Let's hear this.
Mr. Mark Ruffalo, why are you talking about the ICE, that one single woman that died, that came in front of ICE? I don't understand where you guys want to take this with Gaza and Hamas and the Islamic Republic of Iran. Neither of you have lived under the Islamic Republic tyranny that you guys are talking about the death of one single woman that have came in front of an ICE agent, a police. And you guys are talking about, you guys have human rights. You guys have everything that you need in your life. We have been taken, our lives have been taken away from us. You guys have everything, and you guys once have one president in your country that wants the best for the people of America that have built the land for 250 years. America has a right to have a country. America has a right to have a country as much as Iranians have a right to have a country. So let's get the facts right here. All right? Let's not get ourselves lost in this illusion that you guys have been building for us, for people. All right, Mr. Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, look at this. Mashi Alijad, whatever, Ali Najad, who was targeted for assassination by the Iranian regime at her Brooklyn home, tortured Zohran Mandami. Mr. Mandami, you're more than welcome to come at one of my safe houses. So let's hear this.
I just want to read what exactly the New York City mayor said.
Today's
military strikes on
dictators?
Iran,
Many
carried out
admire
by the
them.
United States and Israel, mark a catastrophic escalation in an illegal war of aggression. Bombing cities, killing civilians, opening a new theater of war. Americans do not want this. They do not want another war in pursuit of regime change. They want relief from the affordability crisis. They want peace.
Oh, my God. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I live in New York, Mr. Mamdani. You are more than welcome to come to one of my safe houses. You're more than welcome to come and see my would-be assassin in the federal court. You didn't even dare to come and face them. Where were you when they sent killers here in New York City? You were crying for your aunt because she stopped using subway for simply in an illusion statement you made saying that she didn't feel safe because of wearing hijab. Really? I stopped using subway because of the would-be assassins being sent to beautiful New York City by the Islamic Republic. I know maybe you and many other people, they hate President Trump, but believe me, this is not the right time to shift your hatred and your anger from President Trump to the people of Iran. Innocent people. We are better allies to you, America, compared to these backward mullahs.
Oh, I agree. I concur. And Iran's rep to the UN, I have one word only. I advise a representative. Oh, this is good. Watch this. This is good. So they were going crying to the UN. So let's see.
I have one word only. I advise to the representative of the United States to be polite. It will be better for yourself and the country you represented. Thank you.
The representative of the United States has asked for the floor to make a further statement.
Frankly, I'm not going to dignify this with another response, especially as this representative sits here in this body representing a regime that has killed tens of thousands of its own people and imprisoned many more simply for wanting freedom from your tyranny. Thank you, Mr. President.
I have one word only.
else. The Iranian people are now toppling statues of the former supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, following strikes that took him out, and multiple senior military leaders.
دارم خواب میبینم سلام دنیای جدید
Amazing footage flooding out of Iran right now. Massive crowds of Iranians cheering, blazing their car horns, waving flags, and straight up celebrating like it's Liberation Day as Khamenei regime crumbles at the hands of Trump. They seem happy. Seem very happy. All over the world, people have come out to celebrate Donald Trump striking Iran. Everybody's cheering and celebrating for the people of Iran being freed from living under strict, oppressive Sharia law. Democrats and the media don't want you to see this. Look at Australia, Canada. Let's watch. They're going to show all this stuff everywhere, all over the world. See, Australia, Canada, Britain, Switzerland, Germany, France. Jim Telkeri, my man, China is still clean. No army can win in a war against another country and their own people at the same time. That's right. Can't happen. Can't happen. The frizzy-haired MASH woman sounds impressive right now, but she's actually in the opposition party, and most Iranians are against her. I don't know what you mean. I mean, she's against the mullahs, right? She doesn't wear a hijab, a burqa, whatever. So I don't know. The entire world has witnessed the Iranian regime's wholesale slaughter of innocent civilians. In the presence of the Security Council, its presence in the Security Council makes a mockery of the body, but where the UN lacks moral clarity, President Trump and the United States of America will maintain it.
For peace. As President Trump said today, and he spoke directly to the Iranian people. He said, quote, "To the proud, great people of Iran, I saw tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. The entire world has witnessed the regime's wholesale slaughter of innocent civilians. The sad irony is that this same regime will attempt to lecture us today about human rights and the rule of law. Its presence here in this council makes a mockery of this body. But where the UN lacks moral clarity, the United States of America will maintain it. Indiscriminate for peace. As President Trump said today."
Yeah. And some of the most powerful footage coming out today, Israelis and Iranians are dancing and celebrating side by side in the streets of London. Well, I don't know. That music, I don't know what it is. So there's Iranians and Jews, and they're hanging out, and they're dancing. I don't know what the music is. I don't want to get copyright strike. So, yeah, there are Iranian flags, Israeli flags. Okay. So it seems like people are happy, right? Seems like people are happy. Iranian missiles reportedly launched towards Haifa, Israel. Communists have been using the same hands-off rhetoric for nearly a century in the grand tradition of assassin Lee Harvey Oswald. Hands off Cuba. Join the Fair Play Committee for Cuba. Look at this. Lee Harvey Oswald. What do you know? Oh my God. Two identical protests. The left's hands off Venezuela protests in New York City. The right, the hands off Iran protests happening now in New York City. Exact same signage, exact same chat. Both these protests are funded and organized by the NGO People's Forum. So see, it's the same signs. Look at it. Oh my God, it's the same signs. Hands off Venezuela. Oh, hands off the Middle East. Look at the same signs. Party for Socialism. Same signs. Same signs. Same people. Same shit. All right. Look at this. All right. I was just letting you know, remember MGK and the communists, now they work together in 79. They're on the watch for it not to happen again. Okay. Maybe Mandami can move back home. The fact that they're playing music in Tehran is more than I need to know. They feel free. MEK, yes. I would hate to have a job where I sat behind someone testifying before Congress. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Look at this. Streets of Washington are flooded with people cheering for President killing Khomeini. Such historic. Stop panning so fast. Jesus. Panning way too fast. Panning way too fast. Trump is freeing the world. Amazing. Yeah, panning way too fast. The Iranian people have been asking Trump for help. You're welcome. Now make the best of it. That's what I think. I don't know. Another amazing thing I witnessed outside the White House today was anti-Trump protesters dressing themselves in burqas while waving the flag of the Islamic Republic. It's ironic how the same people who called Trump an oppressor. This is like, these people are batshit crazy. Let's dress in burqas and come out here and do this stuff. But these people just go out and protest anything. In this clip, a woman who appears to be Code Pink's Medea Benjamin takes a phone call during a no war with Iran protest, then quietly walks away. Did he just tell her Khomeini is dead and to call it a day?
Hands off Iran now! Hands off Iran now! Hands off Iran now! Hands off Iran now!
I don't see nobody on the phone. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Crowds are gathering in Boston in support of President Trump and Israel decimating the Iranian regime. The Iranian regime claims to have killed 50 U.S. service members. It's a lie. There have been no reported U.S. casualties from U.S. Central Command. There have been no reported U.S. casualties. The IRGC claims that U.S. Navy ship was struck by a missile. Lie. No U.S. Navy ship has been struck. The Armada is fully operational. The Iranian regime is claiming severe damage at multiple bases. Lie. Damage to U.S. installations was minimal and has not impacted operations. Yeah. Before Demon Rats tried to spin outrage against Trump for the military strikes in Iran, remember this, just 2 weeks ago, downtown Los Angeles was completely taken over by the global day of action to protest the Iranian regime. The protesters stood in solidarity with the ongoing anti-government protests and the revolution in Iran. This was 2 weeks ago, all right? This was 2 weeks ago. Look at the people protesting against the Iranian regime, begging for something to happen, and now all of a sudden, what, we're supposed to forget this? Say, oh no? DM on X? All right. YouTube probably only uses copyright strikes against conservative content. If you were a leftist, they wouldn't bother you. Probably, maybe. I think this is it. I think this is it. Where are we at here? No. This one? All right, so we saw that. Let me see what this was.
This is your favorite president, and it is my complete and total honor to announce that the supreme leader of Iran is dead. Say it with me. I know you all want me to say it, so let's say it together. He died like a dog. He died like a dog, crying and screaming and whimpering all the way to the end. He's the not-so-supreme leader. He's the supreme loser. He's a supreme loser, and today we got the job done. The supreme leader is no more, and the American people are happy about it. The Iranian people are happy about it. And the goats are very happy about it. Think about it. The goats were being violated for a long time by the supreme loser, and his reign of terror is going to come to an end. You know, I always wanted to be careful when people call me the goat. It means greatest of all time, but I didn't want to give the supreme loser any ideas. You know, he likes goats a lot more than a lot of other people like him. But I want to send my condolences to Rashida Tlaib. I call her Piggy Smalls, the notorious P.I.G., and Ilhan Omar. These are two very horrible people, but I want to send my condolences over the loss of their dear friend. The supreme loser of Iran is dead. A job well done all around, and I want to congratulate everybody who is involved with Operation Epic Fury. It was epic indeed. The supreme loser is dead, and we are making America and the world great again. In the words of Toby Keith, we will put a boot in your ass. It's the American way. Thank you. God bless you, and thank you for your attention to this matter.
That was pretty cool. Let's see. Share this tab. So look at this. So you got... that was that protest. The Islamic Republic violently attacked Iranian students in Tehran, simply fighting for their freedom. AOC was silent. Ro Khanna was silent. Ilhan Omar was silent. Rashida Tlaib was silent. Ted Lieu was silent. You know who else was silent? Massey, MTG. They were all silent. Now, this was just a couple weeks ago, and people say like, "Oh, well, why didn't they do something then?" They had to get the ducks in a row. They had to be ready. They have to plan and be prepared to do what it's going to be. Yeah, it's not a war. It's liberation from Islamic tyranny. Free Iran. That's right. All right. Yeah. Listen to the voices of people who watched their children slaughtered by the Islamic Republic. Now they're watching those who did it being obliterated. No, this is Iran. They're happy. I don't know. Anti-Trump protesters are currently circling the White House waving flags of the Islamic Republic and chanting for open borders and defunding the police. This video perfectly captures the pro-Islamic, anti-American agenda of the demon rats and their new friends in the woke Reich. How come the DHS hasn't deported these Islamic jihadis from our country? See them all? Wow, look at them. Oh, wow. Look exactly like the same people that were protesting the other stuff. It's crazy, isn't it? Just crazy. No. I mean, this is the same shit. They just keep doing it. Has anyone checked on Aryan Tabatadi today, the woman exposed for appearing to take orders from the Iranian regime while serving at Biden Pentagon? The woman Iranian leaders claimed was one of theirs. The woman who currently a naval intelligence officer working at Defense Intelligence Agency asking for a friend. Yeah, this person was exposed in September. That worked for Iran.
An investigation, but so far Congress has asked about this, and Congress has been told this is a personnel matter. These clearances have not been suspended, and Tabatabai still has her job.
Yeah, it's unconscionable to think that you would have such a senior role being filled by somebody, again, with this history of seeking and receiving and acting on guidance from an adversarial government. Now, to put this into context, this role that Tabatabai holds, the chief of staff position, it's critical. She directly supports the Assistant Secretary of Defense for Special Operations and in low intensity conflict. And in that role, she is essentially the gatekeeper. She has deep visibility in everything that goes across the Assistant Secretary's desk. Furthermore, she provides critical input to policy initiatives and ultimately has an outsized influence on what that office does or does not do.
Yep. Recess appointments. CNN is being forced to report on the massive support in the streets of Los Angeles for President Trump's killing of Ayatollah Khamenei. We have a historic day here. This gathering has only grown. Oh, what do you see? Let's see. CNN has to report on it. Oh, let's see.
The largest Iranian populations outside of the Middle East. You see the gathering there behind her. Julia, how is the Iranian community responding?
Well, this gathering has only grown, Jessica, over the past few hours, since we've gotten here. It has amassed a large number of people, and the celebration is striking. We got here just moments after initial reports, initial rumors of the death of Ayatollah Khamenei had just started to trickle from Iran to this diaspora community, and people were jumping in excitement, hugging each other, crying, saying that basically they've been waiting 47 years for this very day, Jessica. It is the reason so many of them have come out here today. I want you to hear from one of them specifically, his thoughts right after learning that the supreme leader of Iran was dead.
When is the last time you saw people in Israel and Iran dancing on the streets in excitement? And when is the last time you've ever heard of a country coming out and dancing because they're excited that foreign powers are attacking them?
Now, the name of Reza Pahlavi has been at the tip of people's tongues here, Jessica. So these are very much people who are pro-Shah. They want to see a leadership emerge from Reza Pahlavi. They're calling for him to take over the reins. And their hope, they've told me, is that he would then lead a temporary government and hold elections in Iran, hold a referendum in Iran so that the people could decide what would come next for their nation.
Yeah, and so many Iranian people hoping for a regime change and that they can take back their government. A lot of questions about how that will happen, if it can happen. Julia Vargas Jones, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Thanks for that.
Oh, wow. And I want to say I just got a notification that we got a new tip from Effie. Thank you, Effie. It was a $20 tip over there on Ko-Fi. It says, "Thank you, Jim. Great coverage." Thank you, Effie. Thank you so much. And with that means we are now $75 away from the first additional hour of the show and $25 away from Bellavision. Thank you so much, Effie, for the wonderful donation. Thank you so much. Some are third-generation Americans. Well, they could be. Are they Iranians or Americans? Well, a lot of Iranians came to the U.S. after the fall of the Shah. You know, a lot of people left. A lot of these people might be those people. You hope they separate church and state. Hey, Jim. Dave Blank was going out with an Iranian girl in San Diego. Yes, thank you so much, Effie. Thank you so much. So let's see. I'm trying to get this stuff. Democratic Socialists just released their statement on Iran titled "DSA stands against imperialist war and with the Iranian people." And read how it frames the regime. The framing is telling. With the statement, the argument consistently centers on the sovereignty of the Iranian state. It condemns violations of the sovereignty. It insists that national sovereignty is a precondition for working class liberation, while saying nothing about the republic's repression of its citizens. No mention of the political prisoners, protest crackdowns, executions, mass demonstrations, that have defined Iranian domestic politics in recent years. Even more striking, how the statement assigns responsibility for the Iranian suffering almost entirely on the United States, because they hate America. These are not Americans. They need to go. Surprisingly, the statement eventually pivots from foreign policy to movement building, calling for participation in mass mobilization, urging readers to contact their representatives in Congress and to join the DSA and its international committee. Ah, yes, the international committee. These people are all fucking scumbags, and they should all be run out. Yeah, so the Iran protest is the People's Forum. We talked about all this stuff. This is all just put on. This is all funded by China. And Mike Lawler says, since many of my Democrat colleagues don't seem to understand the War Powers Act, it's very simple. The president must notify Congress within 48 hours of deploying troops or commencing an attack. The president must then withdraw troops within 60 to 90 days unless Congress declares war. In this instance, Congress was notified in advance and briefed before the strike. A full classified briefing will be forthcoming. Now Congress can pass a concurrent resolution ordering the troops be withdrawn at any time, which is what Massey and Khanna are trying to do, two fucking traitors. But Article 2 of the Constitution and as Commander-in-Chief, the President has authority to act. The notion that the strike is illegal if the President was needed Congress's authority is wrong. Furthermore, Biden and Obama conducted numerous strikes in numerous countries without Congress, and none of the people screaming now seem to have any objections. For historical context, Congress has not declared war since World War II. Rick Comsuni knows. Explicitly states the president may only send military forces to hostilities pursuant to a declaration of war, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, whatever. 24 hours ago, there were 7 countries. This is a good thing right here. 24 hours ago, there were 7 countries in this conflict. Now there are 12. By Monday, there will be more. Here's a full picture of no single news feed is giving you. Israel struck Tehran, Isfahan, Qom, all these places, and because he knew that the leadership was gathering in one room. They've justified these policies for decades. The devil you know, bull crap. Yeah. The target was a meeting, months of intelligence, one window, the first Israeli strike in history designed not to destroy a program, but to decapitate a government. Iran's answered by firing missiles at every American installations it could reach: Bahrain, the UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, Jordan, Abu Dhabi. Iran demonstrated range. It failed to demonstrate precision. And then the dominoes fell. Saudi Arabia, which 4 weeks ago personally promised Tehran that would never allow its territory to be used against Iran, released a statement pledging all its capabilities to support every attacked nation in all measures they take. Dubai shut down both international airports indefinitely. 280 flights canceled. The Emirates and Qatari Airways, Turkish Airlines, Air India, British Airways all grounded and rerouting. The busiest international aviation hub on Earth went dark because Iranian missiles were crossing its airspace. Now watch what is moving in the shadows. Russia signed. So I think did I read this yesterday? This seems familiar. Like, did he repost this? And the architecture of isolation. In 48 hours, Iran went from a nation with diplomatic channels to Oman, trade ties to China, arms deals with Russia and detente with Saudi Arabia, to a nation that attacked its own mediators, exhausted its missiles against interceptors, and watched its partners choose words over weapons. The regime that survived the June War, the regime that survived 32,000 protest deaths, the regime that survived economic collapse, the regime now faces precision strikes, a 6-nation coalition, closed airspace, frozen diplomacy, and allies who condemn on television what they will not contest on the battlefield. The war is 24 hours old, and Iran is already done. Persian women are some of the most beautiful in the world. Khamenei, their proxies, they killed 30,000 of their own people and continues to make a nuclear bomb. Yeah. It's important to note that U.S. is not attacking Iran. It's attacking their barbaric Islamic regime occupying terrorists. Yeah, I agree. Make Iran great again. Yeah, let's do that. So sad. I want to take a moment, from the bottom of my heart to express my deepest, most sincere condolences. A very special group of people who are having a very, very rough day. A terrible day. Probably the worst day of their lives. For them, I really do. Marjorie Taylor Greene, wonderful woman, by the way. I've always liked her, always. But many people say she has lost her way, and maybe she has. But she's very upset right now. Very upset. Tucker Carlson used to have great ratings. Not so much anymore, but that's okay. He's devastated. And the Demon Rats, the radical left, the whole group, AOC, the squad, all of them, they are in absolute mourning tonight. They're practically wearing black. It's like a funeral over there. And in a way, it is, because their favorite supreme leader, not ours, theirs, the Ayatollah, the great Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the man who, I want to be very respectful to their grief, a man who beat women in the streets for not covering their hair. Think of that. The feminists, the so-called feminists, the ones who march around with the pink hats. They're crying tonight over a man who imprisoned women for singing. For singing. A woman sings a song in Iran, she goes to prison. But Orange Man bad, so I guess we have to be upset about it. And Tucker's been on there. Very concerned, very worried, saying we shouldn't have done this. It's not our business. Very isolationist, very, principled, he says. And I respect that. I do. But I just want to make sure I understand. And maybe someone can explain it to me because I'm not a complicated person. You're upset that we took out a regime that murdered over 2,000 of its own citizens in the streets just 8 weeks ago. I thought it was 30,000. Whatever. That's the hill you want to die on? Interesting hill. Very interesting. And the demon rats. Oh, the demon rats. 4 years they told us Russia. Putin is a dictator. We must defend democracy everywhere. Democracy's on the ballot. It's sacred. It's everything, And the one regime on the planet Earth has chanted death to America every single day for 47 years that hangs gay people from cranes in public squares from cranes. Think of that. They stone women. They funded October 7th. They killed 240. They killed 240 Marines in Beirut. They blew up our sailors on the USS Cole. We finally did something about it, and they're against it. They are against it. So let me get this straight. Let me lay this out because I think the American people deserve clarity. Marjorie, Tucker, the Demon Rats, the whole beautiful coalition. And it's beautiful in a strange, very strange horseshoe, they call it. And it's they're mourning tonight a government that executes people for being gay. The LGBTQ community, which the left claims to love so much, and it loves, they can't get enough of the flags, the parades, the months, everything. The community literally killed, thrown off buildings, hanged from construction equipment in the country they don't want us to touch. Explain that to me. Take your time. I'll wait. They are mourning a regime that just weeks ago shot schoolgirls in the streets protesting, little girls, teenagers mowed down. Believe all women crowd, silence, worse than silence. They're angry at me, the guy who did something about it. They are shedding tears tonight for a government that funded Hamas, that backed the butchers of October 7th, that armed Hezbollah, that killed and maimed hundreds of American soldiers with IEDs in Iraq. Beautiful young men and women who came home with missing legs, missing arms, didn't come home at all. They're on television right now saying that this is wrong. It was wrong to protect Americans is wrong. You know what I heard, and it's true, somebody told me one day, today, that there is American citizens posting online saying, rest in peace to the Ayatollah, rest in peace, a man who ordered the killing of thousands of his own people, who funded every terrorist organization in the Middle East, who wanted a nuclear weapon so he could threaten New York, Los Angeles, Chicago. Rest in peace, they say. You know who's resting in peace tonight? 241 Marines from Beirut, the sailors from the Cole, the soldiers who got blown up by the Iranian bombs in Iraq, the women who were beaten to death in Iranian prisons for taking off a headscarf. They're resting in peace. And nobody on the other side ever said a word about them, not a word. So to Marjorie, Tucker, and AOC, and to all the rest, I'm sorry for your loss. I truly am. I know this is hard. Losing someone you care about is never easy. But maybe, just maybe, and this is just a thought, just a suggestion, maybe next time, pick someone to defend who doesn't hang people from cranes. Just a thought. Because here's Marjorie Traitor Green saying, we said no more foreign wars, no more regime change. We said it on a rally stage after rally. Speech after speech, Trump, Vance, basically the entire administration campaigned on it and promised to put America first. My generation has been let down, abused, and used. Thousands and thousands of Americans have been killed and injured into never-ending pointless foreign wars. There's 93 million people in Iran. Let them liberate themselves. Does this stupid cunt not know that the American Revolution got help from another country? Holy fuck, lady. Are you that fucking dense? Yeah, but Iran is on the verge of having nuclear weapons. Yeah, sure. We have been spoon-fed lines for decades, and Trump told us his bombing this past summer completely wiped it all out. It was always a lie, and it always America last. But it feels like the worst betrayal this time because it comes from the very man the administration we all believed was different and said no more. We thought the victory won in 2024 would be the final time to put America first. We thought that meant common American man and women and their children, not elites. America has suffered. They don't even care. COVID lockdowns, all this stuff. Like, she's a fucking communist, and she's just playing games for power. That's all she is. She's a fucking code pink communist. I bet you there's fucking evidence of her being involved with them back during the Bush years. Zero accountability for anyone from MAGA American administration. They create this crisis and a solution simultaneously and build condos to profit. Even after we campaign, not a single person is arrested and likely won't be. Oh. Epstein. Yeah, Epstein. Got to get the Epstein files. Got to get them. Yeah, we're $40 trillion in debt. Boost the value of the dollar. No war with Iran doesn't lower inflation and make cost of living affordable. Does war with Iran fix our healthcare system and make healthcare affordable again for Americans? Hey, Marjorie Trader Green. If we kicked every fucking illegal alien out of the country and stopped providing them with free fucking healthcare, our healthcare wouldn't be so fucking expensive. Because we're paying for that. All of us. Does war with Iran help you afford to buy a home? Kicking out all the illegal aliens will. But you said you wanted them to stay, you fucking traitor. You said, no, I want fucking illegals to work at my construction company. That's you. That's really why you're gone, scumbag. They don't care. They killed thousands of innocent children in Gaza. So she's just parroting the same fucking anti-Semitic lines. I mean, I'm starting to wonder about that stuff she said about the Jewish space lasers. Like, she believes that shit. Like, she is an anti-Semite cunt. That's who she is. She just hates Jews. Now she hates America, I guess, too. Yeah, she sure does sound like a demon rat. Yeah. America is going to be force-fed and gaslighted all the noble reasons American peace, President pro-administration had to go to war this year after being in power for only a year. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting upset because she's a traitor. She is. Traitor to America. Traitor to America. Yeah, vote for the pro-peace ticket. Yeah. Well, sometimes, so does pro-peace mean you just have to take whatever and just keep it going and just, oh, fuck it. Got to wait till the end. Yeah. Notice how, where did it go? How did we get, what happened? What is going on? How did I lose this? What happened? Oh, yeah, here we go. So, major breaking: Ayatollah Khamenei, the brutal longtime dictator, has been killed during the Trump operation. Israeli officials tell the Times, well, we know that he's dead because the Iranians have admitted it. President Trump speaks on Khamenei's reported death. We believe that to be the correct story. Trump has reportedly seen photos of Khamenei's body.
And he talked to you about Khamenei and the possibility that he may have been killed in strikes. What did he tell you?
This was an extraordinary 3-minute conversation, Yasmin. Let me read you the key takeaways. I asked President Trump if he had confirmation that Ayatollah Khamenei has in fact been killed. He said to me, I've spoken to a lot of people. We feel that is a correct story. Again, when I asked him about the reports that the supreme leader has in fact been killed, President Trump saying, we feel that is a correct story. He went on to say, quote, a large number of their leaders have also been killed. And that was significant. The fact that he said this was not just one person, Yasmin, the fact that according to President Trump in this phone call that I have with him, he believes it's a correct story that the supreme leader has been killed, along with, he says, a large amount of leadership. He says there were 3 attacks, and he says that in some of those subsequent attacks, that is what ultimately killed the leadership of Iran. I asked him when he would know that this operation has been a success. He said it is going very well. We're probably, in terms of 0 to 10, we're close to the 10 spot, if not there. It's going very well. Tremendous damage has been inflicted. The leadership is gone. Large portions of the leadership. They don't know how many, he says, but he says that the leadership has largely been wiped out from Iran. So a significant
huge news
revelation and development in this 3-minute conversation with President Trump. When I said specifically, sir, how will you know that this has been a success? He said, quote, Yasmin, I think it's already been a success.
When he talks about we're at the 10 spot, Kristen, what do you think he means by that? As in the operation has gone well, or we're almost done? We're almost there.
I think both. I think he is arguing that so far he believes that the United States has hit its targets, that the United States strategy is playing out. It seemed to be that was part of what he was arguing. But I go back to this last statement, and I'll read it to you in full. I was trying to get a sense of just how long this would be. He said, I think it's already been a success. We've inflicted tremendous damage. It would take them years to rebuild. And then I tried to pin him down on a timeline. Unfortunately, as you can imagine, he said he is making a number of calls right now, speaking to other foreign leaders, and had to end the conversation at that point. But in those 3 minutes, again, saying that the U.S. believes that it is a correct report that the supreme leader is killed.
I know this was just 3 minutes, Kristen, but I'm going to ask you to read between the lines a little bit more, which you're very good at. When you were talking to this president, we have heard a little bit about what he wants to happen next, but I think it's important to reiterate for folks what it is he wants to happen next, right? If he's reaching this 10, he feels as if we are almost there. It has been a success. Is this now handing the baton over to the Iranian people to see what then happens, what they're able to do to essentially work towards regime change? And if, in fact, they're not able to pull that off, I mean, there is still the Revolutionary Guard. There are still members of the Supreme Council that are still very much alive. Is the United States, is Israel willing to go back into the ring?
Well, I think that's the big question, Yasmin, about what happens next. In his public comments earlier today, he obviously called on the people of Iran to rise up to seize this moment. I asked him who is going to replace the supreme leader if, in fact, he has been killed. And he essentially said, well, they'll likely call me and get my take on that. He said, I'm being a little bit sarcastic, but it's clear there's a vacuum, that it's not entirely clear. And that's where he points back to the Iranian people themselves to, in this moment, rise up, seize the moment, and carry out regime change in terms of replacing leadership.
Kristen Welker, we thank you for that.
Joe, you're right. Why is that current moment? It's not a secure skiff. I believe that's in Mar-a-Lago or something. That's where they were, Palm Beach. Yes. Who's going to? Yeah, we let them figure it out. That's right. We let them figure it. I wonder how the voting districts will be affected by the Iranians returning to the homeland. I don't know how many will be returning right away. Some will. Some won't. But look at this. Oh my God! Look at this. Breaking: a district judge overturns Khomeini's death. Orders him be resurrected. Oh, that's crazy. That's from the Associated Press. That's a joke, clearly. Any member of the United States government that is siding with the rogue Iranian regime over the United States needs to be resigned from office immediately. Any member of the United States government that thinks Donald Trump is acting unlawfully needs to learn how to read the law. That's right. It's crazy. It's crazy. Exactly. Yes. Exactly. The U.S. strikes on Iran moved up to early last night to catch Iran off guard. Mere hours after President Trump landed in Florida, they wanted to catch senior leadership off guard. Saturday morning during Ramadan, also Shabbat during the day. That's when Israel took the opportunity to drop 30 bombs on the compound. The U.S. simultaneously struck military targets. The U.S. alone carried out nearly 900 strikes in 12 hours, an incredible high number. Strike had to be moved up based on intelligence. Let's see. So let's listen to this real quick.
Have told me that the strike had to be moved up based on intelligence and this so-called target of opportunity. There was a deliberate decision to accelerate the timeline and to strike during the daytime, which is extremely unusual. Usually the U.S. would not strike during the daytime, but they wanted to catch the senior leadership off guard. It was a Saturday morning during Ramadan, and it was also Shabbat during the day. And that's when Israel took the opportunity and dropped those 30 bombs on the compound, and the U.S. simultaneously launched strikes against all of the military targets that then we've seen the results of today. I've also learned that the U.S. alone, the U.S. military alone, has carried out nearly 900 strikes in the last airstrikes in the last 12 hours. That is an incredibly high number of strikes in the first 12 hours of this operation, Sandra.
Wow. A lot of strikes, 900. CCP Link NGO Network prepares emergency protests. We saw all this stuff. Notice how Rashida Tlaib refers to the U.S. and Israel as they. This is how enemies within refer to our country. She is not here to represent America's. Yeah, Rashida Tlaib, who allegedly represents the United States, now saying the USA doesn't care about laws, refers to us as they. Yeah, both the U.S. and the genocidal Israel doesn't care about the laws. This is who they are. Oh, but she's supposed to be part of the government. So why she should be immediately removed from Congress? She says she's not part of the government. She's not American. It's not us, it's they. Liberals are protesting Donald Trump outside the White House with the same signs used to protest other protests. Same exact sign. Trump must go. Get rid of Trump. Yeah. So groups backed by the CCP propagandists spur U.S. protests over Iran. Rep. Massey is organizing Democrats to condemn President Trump's decision to eliminate Iran's supreme leader. And it's the nation's Democrats are taking side of Tehran's murderous regime over the Iranian people. Yeah, Massey rallies the Democrats. What do you know? Fucking scum. Fucking scum. Sorry, Jim worked the skiff. That was a no-no. Did she say Israel dropped dirty bombs? Going back to check. Jennifer Griffin or someone did say that. That was or I think it was Catherine Herridge. They said previously, in I think it was after the attack, either last year or the one on Soleimani, they discovered that some of the bombs that Iran shot at our locations did have radiation in them. GW used contractors for his dirty work. There were several Motel 6s and 7-Elevens for sale. Have you seen fighter avoiding missile? Sent you DM. Let me look. This is what air superior looks like. An Iranian missile lockdown, track closing fast. The American pilot didn't panic. Years of training kicked in. The missile lost its solution. The jet climbed away clean. Massey needs an opponent in the primary. He's got an opponent. An ex-Navy SEAL is running against him. All those saying Trump needs Congress's mission. Do they not know that Trump and Obama also have a pen and a phone? Yeah. So let's see what this looks like here. That looked like an Israeli plane to me. That looked like an Israeli plane to me. That looked like an Israeli plane to me. That doesn't look like an American plane. But I could be wrong. So let me get this straight. 12 months ago, Ukrainian flags. 9 months ago, Palestinian flags. 6 months ago, Mexican flags. 1 month ago, Venezuelan flags. Now, Iranian flags. What on earth? Do leftists really stand for every country but America? It's crazy, right? It's crazy. Crazy. Top 40 Iranian leaders were killed during the U.S. attacks. Kind of like an F-4. Yeah, it's kind of looked like an F-4, but it could have been. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Yeah, fancy flying. I'm trying to think of the name of the plane. I think Israel has their own plane, right, that they built. I can't remember what it's called, but they have their own plane. Like one. That's what it kind of looked like to me. It's kind of looks like an F-4 or. But that wasn't an F-15. That wasn't an F-16. It didn't look like an F-35, and it didn't look like an F-22. So, hey, Critter Sitter's here. Says, hey, y'all, please hit the like, and thanks. Have a great night. Thank you.
Fox News has learned from a senior Israeli security official. Israel assesses that more than 40 senior Iranian security and regime figures were killed in strikes during the opening operation that Israel launched this morning with the United States against the Iranian regime. This official goes on to say this is one of the largest regime decapitation operations conducted in modern warfare history, and that Israeli intelligence managed to infiltrate the Iranian security echelon, making the strikes possible, this official explained. But again, this news just coming into us, we were able to confirm it, that a senior Israeli official telling Fox News more than 40 senior Iranian security and regime figures were killed in the opening strike this morning. And John and Sandra, as you can hear on our phones here, and we're going to stay here. Our security is giving me the nod to stay here. Tel Aviv is under a significant attack right now. And again, this news breaking that Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei, has been killed. We are now reporting exclusively that 40 senior
that video clip
regime
was
figures
fake and it was a Harrier?
also killed
Okay.
in the strikes. The Iranians are going to try to target
Shortest
as much
war
of
ever.
Israel as possible, and that's exactly what is happening right now.
Yeah.
I think if we paid protesters, they would hold American flags. Yeah, I would hope so. The war that almost was. A freaking colorblind person painted those walls. Damn. It's crazy, right? Yeah. I know what you meant, man. I know what you meant. I was all on it. Wow. Saw this. Here we go. So this was an Iranian suicide drone hit Kuwait International Airport, civilian airport. Iran just crossed the line. It changes the entire nature of the conflict. Every airline flying to the Gulf right now is a potential target. Yeah, so. The airport.
Oh, the. Hey.
Crazy. All right. Let's do this. Let's talk about this real quick. Trump strikes Iran. The precedent and history are on his side. What is this?
Hurry down to spa manufacturers for the huge fact.
No. With the launch of attacks on Iran, some have already declared that the strikes are unconstitutional. That includes the immediate condemnation of Representative Thomas Massie. See, people, there are a few loyalists left in the Iranian government. Okay. That includes immediate, the president, however, favors the president in this action, though the attack triggers obligations of notice and consultation with Congress. I am highly sympathetic to those who criticize the failure to seek declarations of war from Congress before carrying out such operations. Indeed, I have represented members of Congress in opposing such wars. We lost. The courts have allowed presidents to order such attacks unilaterally. Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution states the president shall be commander-in-chief of the Army and Navy of the United States and of all the militia of the several states. However, the Constitution also expressly states that Congress has the power to declare war under Article 1. Our last declared war was World War II. Since that time, Congress and the courts have allowed for resolutions to supplant the declaration requirement. They have also allowed for unilateral attacks on other nations. President Trump has referred to this action as a war and said that it will not be a limited operation. The attack will result in calls for compliance with the War Powers Resolution Act passed in 1973. The resolution requires, in the absence of a declaration of war, that a president report to Congress within 48 hours after introducing United States military forces into hostilities. The WPR mandates the operations must end within 60 days absent congressional approval. Notably, there was a recent secret briefing of the Gang of Eight that may have included a foreshadowing of this operation. Secretary of State Marco Rubio confirmed on Saturday that he has given notice to those senators. Under the War Powers Resolution, the president in every possible instance shall consult with Congress before introducing U.S. armed forces into hostilities or into other situations where imminent involvement in hostilities is clearly indicated by the circumstances, and after every such introduction shall consult regularly with Congress until the United States armed forces are no longer engaged in hostilities or have been removed from such situations. The WPR limits such authority to hostilities or into situations where imminent involvement in hostilities is clearly indicated by circumstances and can be exercised only pursuant to declaration of war, specific statutory authorization, or a national emergency created by an attack upon the United States, its territories, possessions, or its armed forces. President Trump has cited the document attacks of Iran and its proxies on the U.S. forces and its allies. It's also a state sponsor of terrorism and has continued to seek nuclear weapons in defiance of demands of the international community. Recently, the International Atomic Energy Agency announced that Iran had barred it from these sites. Terry says, my dad served in the Navy, my uncle served in the Marines and Army. Joe, they may call them family feuds like the Saudis did. They may call them? Okay. Declaration of war, another job the lazy-ass Congress refuses to do, passed to the president, then admonishes him when he uses it. Yeah. There has historically been deference to presidents exercising such judgment under this vague standard. That was clearly the case with the attacks in Bosnia and Libya under Democrat presidents. Even with the highly deferential language, presidents have long chafed at the limitations. Nixon's veto of the legislation was overridden. Past Democrat and Republican presidents, including Obama, have asserted their inherent authority under Article 2 to carry out such operations. There is always a fair amount of hypocrisy in these moments. There was no widespread outcry when Obama attacked Libya, particularly from the demon rats. When I represented members to challenge the undeclared war in Libya, Obama, like Trump, dismissed any need to get congressional approval in attacking the capital city of a foreign nation and military sites to force regime change. Figures like Secretary of State Hillary Clinton were lionized for their tough action on Libya. Hey, thank you, Terry. Another 5. Wow, with that, that means we are $70 away and 20 away from $70 away for an extra hour and 20 away from Bellavision. Thank you so much. Critics can also rely on authorization for the use of military force, AUMFs, to assert limits on a president when authorizing limited defined military actions. Such resolutions date back to the Adams administration in the quasi-war with France. In 2001, the AUMF authorized the president to use all necessary and appropriate force against those nations, organizations, or persons he determines planned, authorized, committed, or aided in the terrorist attacks that occurred on September 11, 2001. It also authorized the president to take military actions to prevent future acts of terrorism against the United States. Oh, shit. Look right there. To prevent future acts of terrorism. So that's all Trump says now, is preventing future acts of terrorism. The 2002 AUMF authorized presidents to use necessary and appropriate force to defend national security of the United States against continuing threat posed by Iraq. Past presidents have interpreted these AUMFs to extend that new threats and beyond countries like Iraq. In a 2008 report, the Trump administration declared that the 2002 AUMF contains no geographic limitation on authorized force may be employed. Obama, Biden, and Trump have cited the 2002 AUMF as supporting past attacks. The Biden attacks, including targets in Iraq and Yemen. Trump also cited it in taking out Soleimani. President Biden's reliance on the AUMF for necessary proportionate attacks was ironic since he previously supported rescinding the 2002 AUMF. Afro Jack says, have you seen the video of the leader's house vaporizing? It was awesome. Yeah, I watched it last night. Thank you for being here. Hey, Nerd One, what's up? What's up, Jim and chat? Great to see you guys. Great to be here. So glad. The administration is likely to consult with Congress in light of these attacks. Congress can seek to bar or limit the operation in the coming days. Given the fluid events, many members are likely to wait and watch how the initial results and, frankly, the polling on the attacks. However, this operation could take days or even weeks. The longer the operation continues, the calls for congressional action will likely increase. As an initial matter, however, Trump is using authority that prior presidents, including Democratic presidents, have cited in carrying out major attacks on other countries. History and prior precedent are on his side in carrying out this initial attack. So that's Jonathan Turley, a constitutional scholar, and he's a Democrat. It just says, look, so it says celebrations break out across the United States over the strikes against the Islamic Republic. So we saw a bunch of stuff. We looked at the tweets. So I'm not going to read a whole bunch of this. Just as celebrations broke out across the U.S. as revelers took to the streets. Hundreds of Iranian expats mobbed the White House. We got that. All right. It says a failed missile launch in Iran caused a projectile to fall in a school. Images captured the moment it failed, fell back to the ground and struck. The Iranians, just like the Palestinians in Gaza at the beginning of the war, immediately claimed it was a missile fired by the United States or Iran. U.S. hatred is sort of a new thing. Yeah. Jack says, I'm guessing Trump attacked before going to Congress to handle it and start it before Congress would force him to put it out of it. No, actually, they did. If you remember, if you think back to the State of the Union, what Schumer and Durbin and some other people said, that Trump must make his case to the American people. They knew this was coming. They told the Gang of Eight about it, which is all they're required to do according, to the rules. They don't have to inform. They have to inform the leadership of Congress, not the whole Congress. So that's what they did. So this is that thing. They claimed it was a school that it was hit, but you could clearly see the missile taking off, and then coming back down. You see so it malfunctioned and crashed. Even Iranians claim it was a regime missile. Propaganda en masse is really bomb schools in Iran? No.
Breaking news from inside Iran: an all-girls school in Minabi, Iran was hit by Israel, killing 51 schoolgirls. Wait, was it Israel? Or then why is the IRGC announcing that it was an accidental error and promised serious action? Referring to missiles, by the way. Why are they posting that they're following up to see who committed this mistake? This is directly taken from the IRGC Telegram channel, by the way. Wait, there's also, in less than 100 meters from the school, there's IRGC structures, including military buildings and a clinic belong to the Guard. So the question is, why are military assets positioned next to schools? And why, hours before, there were reports of military equipment being moved into schools and hospitals? And why, on January 28th, an IRGC insider published something anonymously stating that IRGC is planting bombs in schools and hospitals, and the plan is to attack these places at the same time as America strikes? Oh, wait. This is not even the first time that the Islamic Republic is using civilians as human shields. In 2020, they called the downing of Flight PS752 a mistake. Human error was used then as an excuse when there was talks of war between Iran and America. What is journalism if everybody has already taken a side and has a devil in mind?
I don't like that it does that noise. I don't like it. Turns out it wasn't them. It was a failed mission. The FBI be on high alert for terrorist acts is important right now. Too bad they fired. This is what Adam, the crybaby Kinzinger, says. And it's too bad they helped make fake warrants to investigate the presidential candidate. That's why they're closed. So we got this. All right, we're going to go over here and do this. Iranian state media confirmed the death of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei. I guess her nose ring hasn't affected her brain yet. I don't know the nose ring. It makes me suspicious about that whole thing. In all honesty, makes me really suspicioso, levioso, suspicioso. I don't know. So suspicioso. Jack says, is there a solid number thus far on how many leaders were killed? I heard Supreme Leader like 40 others. Amongst those were his daughter, son-in-law, granddaughter, several of the cabinet. That's the number we're hearing, 40 leaders. But the number's probably higher now. True flailing and exhibition of a regime is a willingness to execute its children to set up an enemy. Yeah. Kamikazes, remember that shit? Kamikazes? Suicide bombers. So he's dead. This just says Trump says Supreme Leader Khamenei's dead, urges Iranians to take back their country. So yeah, at least her hair wasn't pink. Yeah, that's what I say. Let me look for one thing here. Costas Moro, who's a great Second Amendment attorney. I did a march for peace and to end the draft, but no whistle or foul language. During the UN talks, did France say they're with against the U.S. because they seemed like they were on the fence? I couldn't translate fast enough. They're on the fence. They're like, even Britain and Canada and all them. They're like, we hate the regime, but this blah 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 blah. They're all trying to ride the fence, and then they'll come out and be like, oh no, we always had your back. At some point, results speak for themselves. Hex's Department of War has executed a series of flawless and stunning military operations. Obviously, it's not all just him, but he certainly would get the blame from people like you if things went poorly, so he should get his fair share of credit too if things go well. And they have gone astonishingly well. Other than Rubio, what cabinet secretary has a better track record? This is absolutely correct. Like David French, he's a walking MAGA caricature. Oh, look at this. These people are just so upset, man. These are all like fucking anti-American scum. All of them. Anyway, what's it say? Oh, here's an Iranian commander who says missiles fired today were from old stockpiles. Warns more advanced weapons will be revealed soon. Yeah, and then Anthony Kuma says, shouldn't they open with their strong stuff?
ترامپ بداند ما برای اینکه سالها با شما بجنگیم.
I don't know. I'm not going to play this because I don't know what they're actually saying. Rita Tlaib just wrote a post in which she refers to the United States as they. When I passed her in the office, it's the flag I saw. Why are American taxpayers funding this? Why would this woman have a Palestinian flag? I mean, I know, but like, so she's Palestinian. She's not American. Okay, here, this is this guy, Tom Nichols, Radio Free Tom, who I think is an asshole last time I checked. But he's addressing Joe's comments. He says, honestly, the security issue around whether that's an Apple Watch pales next to this makeshift non-skiff. The president should start a war. He should be in D.C., as should his national security team. And he should have been on TV last night in the Oval, not with this dopey granddad hat. Yeah, because people are complaining about, she wore an Apple Watch. And I'm told there isn't one, there's no threat or breach. So they're complaining about the skiff. I still think we should gather other people protesting the Americans and help and send them to the Iran border to protest the Iron Dome and fighters to see how it's going effectively. Yeah, that's what we should do. Yeah, that's what we should do. Like the internet or not, it has made all the voices heard. Things can't remain in the dark anymore. Yeah. Sure does. So anyway, I'm going to show you Bella for a little while, for a few seconds here. I'll fix the camera because we did not even come close to hitting the goal tonight. Oh wait, wrong thing. So I apologize. I don't know. Maybe it's not complaining, pointing out a flaw, fine, complaining. I'm not saying, I'm just saying this guy's bringing up what you were talking about. Well, I have my pup sleeping next to me too. So let's see who is live right now. I guess Joe. I don't know how long he's going to be live though. I want to send everybody over there. I guess I could. Fuck it. That's what I'll do. Maybe, I don't know. He hit his goal. Maybe he'll go real long. So I want to thank everybody who came. Please remember to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed or liked. I want to thank everybody who was here. Please remind everybody, I'm going to try to stream. It's the end of the month. Yeah, I'm going to try to stream maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday, but Sunday and Monday is rough for me because of my grandkids. But I want to thank everybody for being here, and I'll see you all soon. Come on back for Jim to tell you the news.